So I understand, obviously we fitted you for a driver last year.
That's right.
As the TSR range came out.
And it's been great.
And it's been great, that's good news. So you sort of, on the basis of where the driver spec was, you've had this put together in the meantime with the XC shaft, the Graphite Design XC you're using there in warm-up. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And sort of did it in a fairly imprecise way. And the idea is I'd like to figure out what the TrackMan says and what the right one uses.
Yeah. Obviously I know the spec of your driver, which I've got up on the screen here. What I want to do is just get a feel for that specification at the moment and see where it sits in relation to the work we did with the driver. So let me just...
Would you like to take a look at it?
Yeah, if I can have a look at that, if I can. Have a look at that. Just so where we know it is, where it is in spec terms. So TSR 3 head, 15 degree. A1 setting, which is standard. And it's an XC7 TX on this occasion. Build length of 43. Just a hair heavier in balance to the driver. We built your driver essentially at a D2 swing weight.
Okay.
At 44 and 7/8.
Okay.
Here we're essentially D1 3.1. It's just over a point heavier in balance. Not dissimilar, but it's just fractionally heavier as a balance. Okay. Mid-size. You got mid-size on your driver as well, haven't you?
This is. I think I'm standard on the driver.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You'd expect the spec of the grip to be the same on all clubs, really. I've never really had much of a case of going different sizings.
Yeah, and I don't think I did it intentionally. I don't think I realized I was putting a mid-size on.
Yeah. But do you feel comfortable with the driver size?
I like the driver size. I mean, I've never thought about it, gripped it, and thought I wanted something different. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Let's save that. There we go. So, yeah, we only had 2 layers on it.
Yeah.
2 layers on the standard size before.
I think that's probably 2 layers on a mid-size.
Yeah, which is appreciably bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Not what you'd normally have.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your size correct.
Yeah.
Run it through. Yeah. Okay. What are we going to do? What ball have you been using?
I've been playing a Pro V1X left dash.
Left dash.
Recently, but I don't.
See if I got some.
Or Pro V1s also.
Right. Well, that's handy. We've got a few of those.
Did I lose it? Thank you.
So, yeah, we've got some left dashes here.
Nice.
Obviously, their lowest spinning ball, firmest ball. Target line is as you see. I'm just going to clear the screen for us so that we get a fresh set of numbers, see what's going on, have a discussion of the performance. Just bear with me here. And away we go. So since you had this, what sort of shot pattern do you see? Any particular shot pattern you're seeing?
It's been okay. It's been not like this, to be honest, but Probably more like left misses. That's pretty good. I would say I tend to like.
Thing for me, what I'm detecting from the strike sound, and I'm seeing it in the number as well, is the tendency to bottom out a little bit early with it.
Yeah.
So you get like more of a drop kick effect at times. Your angle of attack is, on average, a little bit up rather than a little bit down. So that was a crisper hit.
Yeah, that seems like it's gonna go right though.
Yeah. So the angle of attack, not quite as up on it, but I think that's where you can get slight variability in the performance, because if you're getting different qualities of strike, you get a little bit of drop kick, no spin on it, you get the clean strike where you suddenly find an extra 1,000 revs, then it's going to have a big impact on the flight side of it.
That was a little fat.
But there you go, that's my case in point. If you take that shot as an example, the attack angle was 3 degrees up, you bottom out early, and then it's always going to find a low sort of drop kick, low spin type of performance similarly there. Yeah?
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest, like, I don't want to say it feels long, but it's like, it feels... It feels like it's like...
It's a standard retail build length for 43, yeah? It's not excessively long, but in light of what we did with the driver, your driver is essentially 5/8 short of the standard Titleist retail length, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of people will get a little bit more comfort, feel a little bit more on top of it when it's a hair shorter, yeah?
Yeah, and
So,
I think...
So if it's, say, 1/4 inch short, even that would impact the feeling of posture and...
I mean, this seems like it's a hair shorter, and I can kind of notice it.
Yeah, that looks about 1/4 inch.
Like,
yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, that's actually about 3/8 shorter. See, that sounded cleaner.
Yeah.
And that was, again, hand in hand. The attack angle wasn't as up on it.
I think...
It wasn't perfect, but it was a little bit more neutral.
I think it's kind of... It's funny, where I'm better with this club is definitely off a tee, where I can swing a little bit up on it.
That's it. These with a tee peg,
Yeah.
all you would see is good performance on a strongish spin, but that method would lend itself well to having a low peg, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this one is it swings a little bit lighter, as well as being a little bit shorter. It's swinging a good 3 points lighter.
What 2.8?
No, this is around sort of D0.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 3 points lighter than the other one. Be interesting to see for me what happens to your strike quality with this as a comparison. That'd be a good sort of initial comparison would be. I think what I would do. Let me just set up a separate. Bear with me here.
It feels stiffer too, actually. Should I go?
Yep, good to go.
That was a little heavy too, but...
That's an interesting one.
What happened?
Well, what's happened, because on that shot in particular, because you've got the downward strike, the strike point's higher on the head, you've got a higher launch on a good strong spin. Carry is much better. I would personally say there's a middle ground here. That's quite a nice pass.
That was the best one yet, I think.
That looked a good pass. Still, that head, you know, 2 degrees up, where you've just sort of got that hotter spin number again.
Maybe
but what I will say, the strike point's a little bit higher on the head with this.
Ugh. It feels like there's less.
I would say in balance terms,
Yeah.
I think it's the middle ground. You probably enjoy that a little bit better if there was a little bit more feel to it, with a little bit more weight on the head.
That's probably true. I don't like the head as much either, but like.
See, that's a good pass.
To me, the head feels a little hollow.
Yeah, it's a different sound, different
Yeah.
note. It's a more of a crack. The Titleist is a little bit more of a thud.
How is the second generation of these?
Not a massive change. Not a massive change. Subtleties rather than any big drastic change in performance. Still would say though, a little bit of variability in the angle of attack. What I want to do initially, let's have a look at this. I want to pop some weight on it.
Okay.
Because you picked up on the fact you enjoy the length of it better.
Yeah.
But I've also picked up on the point that in balance terms, compared to your driver and the other fairway wood, it is relatively light, yeah? So
Okay.
let's get some weight on here and go. That should be pretty similar to your driver. Yeah, let's try it like that.
Okay. Doesn't take a lot of weight.
To notice the difference in your hand.
Well, or to change the swing weight.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, how
But
much?
the general rule of thumb is 2 grams for every swing weight point. Yeah.
So did you put 6 grams on?
I've put about 3 grams there.
A little brushy, but that was better.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a little bit, that little bit of ground at the same time as the ball strike takes the spin off of it. I think what you had with it prior to the swing weight change was more of a feast and famine,
Yeah.
either really good or quite destructive. which is the orange dispersion on the screen. That sounded lovely, that one.
Yeah, it was pretty pure.
You see, that for me, as a number, I see that as your best number so far. But
Yeah.
it's coupled with that angle attack being in a really nice place. Yeah?
I mean, it feels a little more like it wants to slot. It feels
Yeah.
that little swing weight.
This is early days, but what I would say, there's less of a feast and famine performance that you had with the swing weight before. You had some good numbers, but some poor ones. So that was a good pass. I know you didn't quite catch it, but it looked very neutral in delivery there. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna grab our equivalent head, your TSR head that you probably prefer the feel of. Is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah. See, I think that last one, again, a little bit of a fade.
A little heely, but the contact.
You notice the contact.
Yeah, it's much better.
When you get that slight downward strike,
Yeah.
and you pick up, and that's where you're going to be consistent. What you notice from the screen, would you say that blue is a bit steadier?
Yeah,
whereas what we had prior to the swing weight
it's
change,
all over
there's
the
the
place.
feast and famine type performance.
Here's what I like. I think I have a better feel for where the sort of swing path, swing direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. What I was going to say is maybe my ability to sort of manipulate the face is a little bit, is a little better with that, but I don't know.
I think what we want to do is concentrate on the TSR3 as a test head.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do some shaft work.
Okay.
And let's see where we can get it to.
That's
yeah?
great.
This is definitely the steadier set.
Yeah.
We might be a little bit left, but on a very good contact.
That was a little heely too.
Yeah. But again, very clean hit, 0.6 down on the angle attack. Goes hand in hand with you. There's your drop kick again. Okay. That's the only.
One more, and then
to be fair, that was your only poor one.
One more, and then we'll.
That was a bullet.
That was the best.
That was a bullet. That's a combination of. There was one similar sort of pass on it, where the strike was on the heel side, and there was a bit more spin. But that really is as good as it gets, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would agree that blue's a little bit more consistent, both left to right, front to back. I think with where the swing weight was, you weren't quite sure. You could time it one moment and be out of sync.
I felt really
wishy-washy compared.
Let me just make this phone call.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This will be naturally a little bit shorter, so that'll be one benefit here. Yeah, so this is the same length as the one with the DI that you've got.
Okay.
I put it in standard setting. I've actually got, what I'm doing here, I'm testing the water. You know what you was just saying in the introduction, where often the fairway wood shaft weight is a little bit heavier, yeah? So I've now got a slightly heavier shaft here, which matches up with your driver. It's a nice start point. That looked a bit heavy. But like I said, we're testing the water to see if you, how you respond to having a little bit more weight in the shaft here.
That was good.
Bit of a knuckleball in terms of spin. You'd want 1,000 revs on there ideally.
What was on there?
What's that?
How much spin did it have?
I think if you, like I said, that was about 1800. I'd ideally want something 1,000 revs more for an optimum number. I don't personally. Would you agree that that is on the limit of what you can handle weight-wise?
Probably a little.
Both in balance and in dead
I mean,
weight, really.
I feel like I really got to go after it.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't look as comfortable for you.
I'll try to swing lighter.
That was a nice pass. Yeah, it's a nice number.
I mean
That's what I see more as an optimum number. It's in the 2,000 race suite, but 2.6 you can manage that with a nice healthy launch of 13.7. So it's quite a good all-round performance. That sounded sweet. You're not a million miles away with this, you know. It probably just needs a little bit of refinement on the balance side of it, because that moved up to sort of D3 plus as a balance, which is a fair bit heavier than what we've had before. But that was a heck of a strike. They're the ones that concern me, chucking those ones in. Yeah?
Yeah.
They're quite destructive.
Totally, but like...
I think it's what do you make of, because in being the same shaft as you've got in the driver, a little bit heavier.
It's a little less like, well, first of all, I like that it's shorter.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion about what we want.
To be fair, although it's got a slight tail on it, the actual numbers in terms of launch and spin were in a pretty good place. Okay.
That was
right. Let's rein it in then.
Whether it's on the stronger side or not.
oh boy.
It is a lighter one, but
Can you put it in the heel? Or not all the way in the heel, but like.
well, let's just keep things neutral at the moment.
Okay.
It's more about getting it to swing properly in balance terms, yeah?
Fine.
Right, I will add tape to this.
Got it.
There was only one lightweight and it was considerably lighter, if that makes sense. But
This is it, and this is the considerably lighter weight.
But I don't want it to swing sort of D4, D5 ranges. There's no purpose to it, you know?
Yeah.
Particularly where your method is, you just bottom out early and start getting more drop kicks, and we're trying to find more of the clean contacts on a regular basis. So
Always trying to find more pure shots. Yeah, I guess it is funny, like, again, I hit that really well off the tee when I can swing up on it, and when, I just do not like hitting it from the fairway.
You have to take on board that the technique, if you find more consistency on the angle of attack, slight downward strike, that's your mindset. Your mindset really is not to picture up, it's to picture forward.
Yeah.
Because when the club does the work and you've got that nice transition onto your left side, just that slight hair down, all your best shots have been when they've been a fraction better on the angle of attack. Yeah? Right, let's try it like that. Just bear with me, I just changed the tag on that. And DI7X. Okay.
Slightly up.
Seen a hit, maybe a little bit leaky. Yeah, yeah. Thought that looked a bit leaky.
That was a little thin, I think.
Yeah, a little bit out the bottom.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the one where the grind is the most important. Yeah.
That looks a fraction light in swing terms again.
Feels pretty. It feels really light.
Yeah. Better pass, but it still looks like you want more in the head there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass it here.
One more.
Quite a nice number that. Slightly toe side, but picks up quite a good number. I think we're now getting more that territory of the balance of the driver here now. That is almost identical. Yeah?
I think that's the length, so I think if we give it a quarter of an inch, that'll be fine. It's D5, so it's not in a bad spot, that.
Not your best moment in swing terms there.
No.
That would have been okay on a tee peg.
Yeah. Should be
Yeah,
good.
that tape's just coming unravelled there. That must have felt good though.
That was good.
It sounded good. Just for you, it just looks like when there's a little bit more head, when you get the balance correct,
Yeah.
it just looks a little bit more in sequence, a little bit more connected.
Yeah, and I mean, I
when
think
it's
like
light, it looks a bit rushed.
yeah.
And when it's
When it's too heavy, then it sort of lags.
Yeah. But that was quite a nice number, that.
That was a nice contact, nice swing.
So that was, again, ties in with where we are, with where the 50,
Another really good contact there, Beau. Those last two have been very impressive.
That was
But they've been good swings. as
really
well.
good center face. Yeah, but
But
you know,
the balance is in a good place. Does you sense it's heavy enough without being too heavy? Yeah, for you anyway.
this feels right. Like doesn't feel heavy, doesn't feel light.
Yeah, well, we got it right. Yeah. Whoa, 3 on a bounce. Those last 3 are truly on the number.
I'm gonna and I'm gonna see if I can do some manipulating here and see how this feels.
this is technically a 56-degree head, but what I want to do is actually, let me go and get the line draw. I want to get a couple of line draw. This is what we call a D-grind. So this is basically similar to the
The tape just come off there.
Is that this?
What did you try and do with that one?
Where should this go?
That's all right. I'll do it.
I was trying to start it right and come back.
Then I'd go to 54. The S grind got 10 on it, but the E grind, which is not here totally, has got 12, which are quite like as an option. And where that would be quite nice is if you needed to open.
But what was in? Oh, let's ignore that one for the moment because you're trying to do something a little bit different with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was impressing me on those 3 on the bounce, direction, performance. If you look at that collective, strike point as good as it gets. Flight is where I want it. I love that 3,000 spin number. Yeah, because it's such a usable spin off the deck. Nice ball speed. You would be taking those numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I advise, what, lofting or?
was almost just a bit of ground and ball, but not dissimilar a number, just slightly down on the ball speed, but still a number you'd take, yeah? That looks a little bit inside open.
I don't know. I really cannot draw the ball today.
If you want my honest opinion, I wouldn't be trying to draw it for the purpose of the exercise today.
Okay. All right.
The reason is for you to try and get inside.
I'm going to bottom out.
You're going to encourage more up.
Yeah.
Your numbers are going to get a little bit more spurious.
Well, I guess
okay.
I guess the question is that just something I should ignore? I mean, that's not something fundamental with a club.
I think it's something. The problem of hitting draws with fairway woods off the deck, it can always compromise the quality and consistency of the strike.
Okay. Can I try one? Can I try it?
Your margins of error are slightly shorter with that sort of application, particularly where you are at the moment. I would say it's not something I would encourage you to try and do with this fitting.
Can I try one?
Purely because we're looking for a club to swing properly for you.
Okay, fine.
With consistency.
That's fine.
And we were, like I said, the green there was telling a nice story.
Okay.
Yeah? Now,
happy with that.
what do you make of the feel of the shaft?
I like it. Again, it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel light. It feels pretty comfortable.
It's a little bit closer to the weight of your driver shaft, to be fair. What would be a nice comparison in the same weight category? We'll try the XC7, yeah?
Okay.
As a comparison to that. Looks like the new design that Titleist have just brought out with instead of the rails on the sole, it's the rails on the outside. I'd always say that when I'm fitting fairway woods, if someone's always trying to strive towards that slightly better delivery angle of attack, where some might say go up in weight on the fairway, I think with you, it's more the feeling of the club staying a bit more in front of you and the angle of attack being better. So the weight isn't really going to come really that much more off where we were with the driver. Your driver requirement, you enjoyed the weight in the driver, but then you're always pegging it up.
Yeah.
An inch on, inch off the ground with a slightly different delivery. Where this is a slightly different application. Yeah.
This feels nice. I can already feel. It's got a slightly different feel from the orange one.
Yeah, they're subtle changes. It's not a massive change, to be fair, in both weight and balance there. Oh, now that looked like a really lovely pass. Yes, it faded, but
it was a little heely, but it was.
Yeah, that's the only thing that got in the way of it. Just slight heel strike. but the pass you made on it, it looked very free, very, very connected. Yeah, that's the one that swings the best.
A little bit. That's going to help you a little bit more, I think.
A little bit spinny, mind you, compared to, I mean, that wasn't far off the beaten track in strike terms.
That was a little early.
Yeah, yeah. Nice head, yeah.
Clean, but a little heel.
Yeah, that's my only concern here, is that it on my eye, it looks like it swings relatively well, but you're picking up a strike point that wasn't as good as it was with the DI.
That was better. That
Yeah.
was pretty centered.
Yeah, that spin will be different here now. But even then, still, do you know what? I sort of prefer the numbers you get out of the DI.
Okay.
Strike point was a little bit better. Spin was definitely much better for the strike.
Some fuller shots? Full shots? Yes, please.
No. They're consistent, but they're consistently
Are they
of a
spinnier?
certain nature. Huh?
Are they spinnier?
Yeah, but it's mainly to do with the contact point. The contact's just a little bit more on the heel side. Strike point is definitely better off the DI.
You're in a very important meeting here.
Yeah, you just can't tap into numbers you had with the DI.
Really?
No. It also looks a little bit weaker in face. The way you deliver it, it always looks sometimes you can move this. You can see the shape you're getting.
Yeah,
If
it's
you look
always
if you look at it on the screen here.
the face always feels open.
Look, yeah, there's always a tendency to be a little bit more across and open. More of an effort to get that left there, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
They're
Why
still
would
not getting to a number.
no? Why would that be? Why? Like, what about the shaft would mean leaving it more open?
$1 million question, really. Certain profiles can change the strike point. You just getting a slightly different strike point with the DI, and it's just tapping into not only better ball speed, but the spins in a completely different place because of that strike point. Yeah. You've only got to look at it on the screen where the green was and where this is. There's nothing that's remotely as good. I'd see the DI7X as the way forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I take a couple more swings with that, and then let's. And you think this head versus the Stealth 2?
It's a feel thing as well.
Can I take a couple swings with the new
Yeah,
Stealth?
I can put the head on and compare it, but we'd do it with the DI in mind. Yeah.
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 Pretty good numbers.
So who fitted you that?
I don't know. I got my swing speeds. I'd say 3 to 5 miles faster than it was.
What have we been working on? What did you put it down to?
The gym.
Yeah.
I think so. And just playing more. Like in
I'll put that down as so far what we put there. And then I'll see if I can match it in companies.
My only concern, I mean, it can be made to work. It's come up, the depth of the, without getting too technical, the depth of this sleeve has added to the length of the club, which in turn has added
Made
to
it
the
longer?
Yeah. So if I were going to test this, you go down the shaft a good 1/4 inch from the top.
Okay.
Because it will swing too heavy. It's coming up more the 43 build length that's like your Titleist. Yeah?
Well, I guess I have a,
That head would only work on a slightly shorter build because that head is heavier for sure.
feels 1,000 times different than,
Sounds back to where it was with the previous, the original Stealth.
yeah, but it feels a lot different though.
Does it?
The original Stealth felt like you were hitting a plastic box. This does feel heavier.
Heavy gets in the way of you. Once you go beyond a certain balance to that club, particularly where your lesser shots and your lesser swings, we're trying to work on the ratio, getting those lesser shots reduced. But
I mean, it feels good. How are the numbers? They're not as good, are they?
no, it's good. We got a nice little cluster with that TSR3 head and the shaft you have.
Oh,
That was bombed.
ooh.
But still not getting it. You hit this little patch. When I first you remember when I first put that little bit of extra weight back on the head to get the balance just where I wanted it? You hit sort of like 4 out of 5 were tram line down the middle with really strong numbers. I don't think personally.
I mean, that seems like the right move. I'm happy with that.
That was nice. But
Still not as good?
yeah, if you were to say a like strike with the Titleist, actually I prefer to spin off the Titleist. Yeah?
Better or higher or lower?
Well, lower, but lower to a fashion of being optimum. Yeah?
Okay.
I don't think this is a slow head for sure, but you've only
Lot
got
of spin.
see the maroon and what you did with the DI.
It's got a lot of spin.
Well, that one was a little bit lower on the head. That's going to be
Yeah, that felt low.
a little bit low on the head is going to create that spin, but all the same, the average spin isn't. That was a bullet. But you see, that's the thing. All the ball speed in the world and no effect because of where you, when you get that low on the head, it
That's
just
wild.
flares up.
Why is it so low on the head?
I just don't think you react to that head as well as you do the Titleist.
I don't think
I
so
think the
either.
Titleist is just a nicer, steadier effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bear in mind where it could be, obviously it's a winner because we've got the head there in the first place.
Yeah.
The only thing is, in the build, we might have to change the weight if it needs to, in order to get to that optimum swing weight.
Okay.
Change the weight in the sole, but that's the finer points really.
I think this would be your new club for that sort of 55, 70 yard range. I think you'd be able to play. Whereas the 60 might have felt like I had to really hit it to get to that yard. This would feel nice and easy, very comfortable half swing.
Funny thing is, is this one stiffer in the here in the handle, or like the DI?
It's firm butt, and then sort of
Mid.
it plays a little bit softer in the midsection. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the XC is is a little softer in the butt and stiffer in the tip, so it like keeps it lower.
It's where that as a spec for the driver is nearer to a spec for the driver. The DI is probably a slightly better spec for the fairway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, look, if the numbers
Yeah.
the numbers are what
As
the
soon as I
numbers
put
are.
that extra, you remember that extra strip? The
Yeah.
numbers changed. They went bomb, 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 bomb. Optimum numbers, really good spin, something short of 3,000, but just a hair, say 2.9. Very good ball speed.
Can we build? Can we build that? Get a new shaft.
Bring the shaft in,
and then
soon
build
as
it
that
onto.
shaft is here, we'll notify you, and then we'll look to
Build it onto the. Can we build it onto the head I have? Or do we need a new
That's
head?
what I've got.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so I don't need a new head.
No, and that's where it's cost effective.
Okay, that's awesome.
Upgrading the shaft, get the spec of the, get it built to what we need it, but there's no need for what is, the head's here for us.
Okay, good, awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's do that.
And grip-wise, I would say let's get back to our proper size.
Okay.
Yeah? What colour grip did you want for it? The black?
Yeah, black face down,
Yeah.
2 wraps.
Probably stick you in the S grind rather than going down into the M grind. I think the D grind as well in 58, I think it'd be a little bit too high bounce.
So now it's looking at this. Just remind me again what you would like to see as a change here.
I think I may need a, like, I think I'm sort of missing something in my bag, like a longer hybrid or a 5-wood or something like that. And I don't know that this is the right club for that.
Well, the emphasis on that is off the tee, I see, really. Yeah? Any of those driving irons, the emphasis is on using it as a driving club.
I don't love.
Yeah, it can be used off the deck, but
I don't love it, to be honest. I mean, it's okay off the tee, but
do you
it's
see
like,
it as that staying in the bag in conjunction with something new, or something replacing that altogether?
I'm thinking replace it.
Oh yeah. But I do also think
I think that it's like, it's not that long, and when I pure it, it spins a lot, I think.
Right, just take a breather. Can I just see the head? I'll see how it's set up.
This is the out of the box setup, I think.
What it amounts to is a build length of a standard 3-iron. A lot of these driving irons, they'll build them a little bit longer than, say, the equivalent iron. But this is a build length of 39, which is standard 3-iron length. Let's just see where the balance side of it is. Yeah, again, it's that sort of territory, D, just short of D2. Yeah?
And it's, to be honest, I think I hit it better when I compress it when I do off a tee, and I don't, I don't know. Maybe that's psychological more than anything.
But you think you find it easier off the deck?
I don't know.
That was a nice pass.
I've just never been in love with it.
And what you're always likely to see, if any equivalent hybrid or fairway is going to be a lot higher as a peak height. If you've got the requirement of seeing a stronger, lower height, then obviously this is the right sort of club.
Usually, I mean, I think I'd prefer, you know, where I've played.
That's a good pass.
I guess, like, look, it's not. I just don't know if it's the right club for me.
No.
I'm not saying it's not a glaringly
Well,
terrible club.
Just without hitting too many shots, what you're picking up really is that sort of number there.
Yeah.
So 224 on the carry, 243, height of 100 feet, so it's not exactly low. But if you were going to compare it to, say, a hybrid or a fairway, you're going to see a lot more height again.
Yeah.
If that's a good thing to you, but a lot of it falls down to conditions you're playing and what you want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know if there's a better club to replace this with. You know, that I can, you know, hit off the tee when I need
More versatile.
What's that?
More versatile.
Yeah, maybe more versatile and less like
Trouble club.
perhaps, and less one where I kind of I really have to lay into this for it to go well.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't swing itself.
No.
But at the same time, it's not an iron shaft, so like, you know, it's not like we're swinging an iron shaft and it sort of goes for you. Like, this feels like you really got to, like, give it the beans.
Well, what you got in your irons again? Wait, what shaft you got in your irons?
120s, 6 LZ
All right.
6.0s.
Yeah. So this would be a nice comparison.
Okay.
Just sticking to a theme. This is a
I mean, I guess what I'd love is
TSR
something.
TSR3 hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'd love is something that has. You know, I can. I mean, the other thing is, I find, you know, my 3-wood is call it a 250 club, and then this is sort of, if I hit it well, maybe 220. It's like there's just a big space, and my 4-iron sort of 205, 210. So there's just like, there seems like it's not gapped properly.
I think you'll get more carry with this, and you'll probably get a little bit more
Consistency?
ease of use.
Okay.
And you've got your trouble club then, semi-rough lie.
Yeah.
Playing a par 5, 230 out. It's that sort of territory then. Yeah. That's lovely. That's hit the number. So not that you got 95 in your driving iron. This is the 85, which I think is a good start point there. TSR3 head, 18 degree. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Hold on.
Doesn't sound like a good start. A little bit of a knuckleball. I think there's a little bit of a red herring as a number there. It looks quite powerful, but that's only because it's a slight drop kick.
Heel, a little heely, but ooh.
Right, let's just see where you hit that. Yeah. Yeah, quite a strong heel strike. That's, well, all I will say is you can't get a driving iron on that contact to go as far as that. You do get a little bit more leeway. You know when you get that slight miss,
Yeah.
you're sort of done with the driving iron, whereas the hybrid, the sole tends to support you on strike a little bit, and you get a little bit more forgiveness in the club as a result. And you can't get a ball speed like that off of a driving iron, or you haven't been, yeah?
No. So that was a little bit of a miss, but
This is what you got to see, right? If you hit a slightly heavy toe strike out of your driving iron,
it's not
are
going
you
anywhere.
going to get 227 on the carry?
What do you like about it? They do it in black.
This, you get away with a lot with this club.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for.
It could be better again. I wouldn't say that's a great number. The spin's only down because you have this habit of, you'll have spin on this one purely because you could hear it on a cleaner contact, yeah?
But so it's like,
This is the way I see it with this club. When you make that, when you give me that good delivery where the angle attack's a bit better, it actually ironically will have a little bit more spin on it. Ball speed will be up, but you're landing it a little bit more softer on the other end, yeah? When you give me the drop kick with this club, it's always a good bad one.
yeah.
If you give me anything similar with your driving iron, it's just not going to live with it as a lesser number. You see, that's a clean contact. The spin will be on that. That's how it. That's your number on a good contact.
So 240 carry, 230.
237 carry, yeah? So I did say the carry number would be up against your driving iron. It always would be, the ball speed side of things. But
And that was a light swing. So what does that do?
well, that's turning it into a 6-iron for you.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens when try to find somewhere in the middle.
That was a good pass. Was that a smoother one again?
Yeah. So that's good.
See, 228. Yeah?
That's good. If it's something that goes between 225 and 240, that's
Yeah. So the bottom line is, what it gives you is versatility as well. Yeah?
okay.
If you can imagine yourself semi rough lie 240 out, you've got the perfect club, haven't you? That's a good pass.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
A little toey, but
Yeah, but livable. You can't get.
can I try with the 95, or do I not need it?
Well,
Is
you
that a
can.
mistake?
That would be pretty hefty for what is a hybrid.
Okay.
I can imagine you in a driving iron where the build length is, say, at 39. Here, the build length is going to be an inch longer.
Okay.
The moment it gets longer, then there's more a requirement of keeping the weight down and not up. Yeah? So
Okay.
my gut feeling is no, but you can try it.
Okay. I mean,
Pass it here.
left. That's okay. Yeah, it feels nice. I think that's the club, I think.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it with the 95 just to scratch that itch. But my gut feeling is that that would serve a better purpose at that weight for the hybrid.
Yeah, and I think that's a better club for me than that 3-iron.
It's versatile.
Because the 3-iron, again, the 3-iron sort of doesn't, or the 3-iron's kind of like, what's the point? It's sort of like, it's if I have a, you know, a 225-yard par 3 or something, it's a really kind of small window of use.
This is the point.
Yeah.
If you had a semi-rough lie,
That one
240
sucked.
out.
That's not good.
That club I've just given you would work every day.
Yeah.
You could let it fade. You could, you know,
Yeah.
do it. You could shape it.
Yeah, I feel like I could just do a lot more.
And your
with this.
misses. I'm not being funny. There were some numbers there that they weren't perfect deliveries. They weren't perfect contacts, but you get away with it.
So that would be an option. So we could go standard in 54, and then 58 would be that exact. Would be nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty similar. Okay, that's a good option. Next would be the Cleveland. Sister company to
It's a stronger one. I don't think you've got as much control with this at this weight though.
Maybe not.
There's more low lefts here. That's 3 on the bounce. It's more low left. Yeah. I think you control direction better with the 85.
It's a little heavy. I mean, it's definitely going left.
Yeah,
Why
I
is
just
that?
don't think you once you're at that weight, you don't control the club anywhere near as well, face-wise. That's a slightly better pass. That should be a better direction.
That'll be right. Ah,
But still a little bit left, yeah?
I mean, what are the numbers? I sort of prefer this shape, but
okay, you prefer the Clevelands? Yeah. Good. Always had
Really?
Cleveland heads. So I think in this one,
That had a better direction to it that time.
looking again, this is a mid. But they're
do you really don't you think these are?
bigger, solid. So that's becoming
I mean,
the hay ground. So I'd be inclined to keep you in. This is not too dissimilar to the D ground. So I'd keep you in the mid in this one.
how'd that last one do?
Again, if you do a full face,
The last one?
Yeah, that was a nice number.
raw finish as well.
Well, you're making a better pass at it now.
In the 54, I'd probably keep you in the money. And again, in the 58, I'd be inclined to keep you in the mid as well. They don't have quite the same configuration of bounces that Roki have. So they don't do a higher bounce with a C line. So yeah, they're much more consistent. But they also do the
What I want to do is just tidy these numbers up and have a comparison. Yeah? Let's take a breather.
I don't know. It's a toss-up, I think, but
It's a feel thing, isn't it? That's where you gave me your 6-iron number there.
Yeah.
So there you go. There was the 85, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just slightly toe side. Prefer that to hill for sure, yeah?
Yeah.
There's the sort of number you're getting as an average.
That's the average?
Yeah. You got a couple of lesser ones here.
Go back to the, let's go.
The TaylorMade. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, let's see, go to, club path is out to in 2 degrees.
Yeah. Same deal. The move itself is very similar. The only thing I will say, when you've gone heavier, the angle of attack is slightly less, well, not as good, let's say. 0.3 down average with the 85, the
Okay.
95, you're 0.4 up. So in terms of swing technique, there's more up and shut
For the heavy one.
with the heavier one. And
Which I don't really want.
That is sensible. You'd expect the heavier it gets to be a bit more of a drop kicky effect when it goes too heavy for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think personally the 85, I would say, looks safer. Yeah.
Okay. Can I take, can I just go back to that for about a couple swings?
Yeah.
But that makes sense. Okay. Let's do one or the other, but I think 85s.
I did have another shaft lined up for you.
You did.
Yeah.
Should I give it a try?
Yeah, only as a comparison.
Okay.
Just so you know, it puts it in perspective of where those DIs are.
Okay.
Another nice hybrid shaft, yeah?
Okay.
It's the Ventus 8, this one.
Okay. Thank you. I gotta put my glove back on. I think this is gonna be just a great club to have in my bag.
It's more versatile.
Is it kind of like how does it compare to a 5-wood in terms of like loft and?
Comparable loft, let's say if it's a 5-wood, yeah?
But-
you're going to see more height again. This is the good middle ground. If you wanted specifically more height, then the 5-wood is a route to sort of explore.
I don't really want.
But what you've got really with this hybrid is a little bit more height, but height to the good rather than being, let's say, too soft a flight. That was a good pass. That was a really good pass. Give it a chance to ask her that. Yeah.
Not good.
Well, the good news is it reinforces the argument for the DI.
Yeah.
Yeah?
One more, and I think we can.
There's a real good condensed cluster with that DI8. Yeah?
So that DI8.
Yeah, I mean, but I wanted to try something else just to put it in perspective of where we're at.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I reckon that was good.
Okay.
Got the specs for that.
Mm.
That's about where we're at.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.